Once again, I promise you I'm not doing an off-Broadway performance of Grease right now. I just am getting ready for work, and literally I will be leaving for work in about 40 minutes. So I thought, you know what? I might as well talk about wrestling today. And if you clicked on this video, and I thank you for the click, I really appreciate that, I will say right off the top what you already know by reading the description of the video you're about to see, and that is the fact that for at least one night only, I went old school and I put NXT and Smackdown on the same recap. As a matter of fact, I actually went in and watched Smackdown last night, took notes, woke up this morning at like 8 a.m., and I watched NXT, took notes, everything's good to go. Obviously, I've been really busy with work and Halloween Horror Night speculation lately, so I have not had the chance to focus on wrestling as much as I'd like to, but don't worry, that's going to be taken care of sooner rather than later. And we will be recapping Raw, of course, for tomorrow's video. So Ben and Will actually be here tonight, and we'll probably get some Ben and Will content soon. I have a couple videos from Ben already. I need to get one from Will and maybe a potential group video. We don't know exactly. I guess we'll find out when we get to it. But like I said, I have to leave for work in about an hour. So, yeah, I had to look up and I was like, wow, I actually have an hour. It's amazing. So, I'm going to talk about NXT and Smackdown. So, this NXT was interesting. This NXT, of course, was the continuation of the NXT Women's Championship Tournament, as well as the main event was a 21-man over-the-top rope battle royal to determine who is the number one contender for Adrian Neville's NXT Championship. And a bunch of things thrown in as well, including the WWE debut of Kalisto. Well, in-ring debut of Kalisto on television. You could see him in the background of one of the Adam Rose vignettes, actually, back in the day. But this was his in-ring debut on NXT television. So we start off the show with the aforementioned NXT Women's Championship Tournament, and we're going to find out who is going to be facing off against the boss, Sasha Banks, who defeated Bayley to get into the second round of the tournament last week, which I talked about on last week's video. And this match is between the person that went all the way to the finals and lost to Paige, and that would be Emma, of the original NXT Women's Championship Tournament that we had before. And her opponent this time is apparently NXT's favorite darling, Charlotte. So, this match was short, and a lot of these matches were exceedingly short, given the fact that you actually got 5 matches on the show, and you only have an hour to do that, and of course you have to have allowing for WWE Network commercial breaks, or ad breaks, depending on how you look at it. The version I watched was definitely under an hour and allowed for the 5 matches. There wasn't much for promos on either show tonight, so it's nice because I didn't really have to write as much as I normally do, which is great because, to be totally honest, sometimes it's fun to just sit back and enjoy myself, actually enjoy the show, instead of trying to recap word for word. I love Bray Wyatt's promos, but they break my wrist every single time I have to write them because they are so long and so involved. That being said, I love them, but like I said, it's something that I don't necessarily like to write all the time. So, let's talk about NXT, and let's talk about our first match. And, you know, right now, right off the top, I do want to mention, as I get Smackdown ready. Okay. This is Emma versus Charlotte, and Charlotte has a maneuver that utilizes something, obviously, from her father, the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and she utilizes a figure 4 head scissor. And she had it locked on Emma, and basically Emma used her back bridge to try to pin her shoulders to the canvas, only got a 2 count out of it, then mows Emma over with a huge clothesline, still gets a 2 out of it, and goes for the figure 4 head scissors one more time, and does the Madison Rayne-esque scissor stomp, and Emma just finally finds a way to escape out of it. Whip-In charges in, and Emma gets the boot up, and misses the clothesline, and Emma with a big clothesline, she finally gets some offense in the match. She pulls out of her boot the Venema, which is the pink cobra, And Sasha Banks jumps up on the apron to try to distract, and of course she eats the Cobra for her measures, and this allows for Charlotte to roll her up from behind. And it wasn't a traditional schoolgirl roll-up. No. It actually was the roll-up from behind, and then she does a back bridge so the person can't have any way of escaping. And kudos to Jason Albert, or Tensai, or whatever you want to call him these days. Jason Albert, I guess, is what he's using in NXT. And that is the Charlotte's Web. And yes, it's very inescapable, and that was pretty cool. Like I said, I started out a long time ago being very sour on Charlotte. And it seems like NXT, as I progress watching it week after week, I become less and less sour on certain things. As a matter of fact, if you want to talk about WWE stuff, I'm getting less and less sour on is the fact that I'm a really big supporter of Ryback now. Yeah, I know. I'm aware. I'm aware of so many things that is wrong about me, of all people, saying that statement. The top Kurt Hennig fan on planet Earth putting over Curtis Axel. But, you know, honestly, the team's growing on me. And Ryback's actually really, he comes off like a dumb jock, but he's not the dumb jock of the group. Axel is. That's the joke. It makes perfect sense, and I love it, because Ryback's very articulate, more so than you would expect, and he's really funny. He's got a great sense of humor. But, like I said, I don't know why I started to transition to talk about Ryback in an NXT recap, but that was our first match, and Charlotte goes over, and she's going to be facing off against Natalya, because Natalya actually won the other match involved. And she is going to be facing... Wait a minute, hold on. Oh my god, it's been such a long day. I'm going to go back to this and make sure... See, I'm pretty sure that's right. It's supposed to be Charlotte and Sasha Banks. Okay. Wow. Like I said, it's early, and I get started, and then it's kind of like, hey, wait a minute. I'm totally, messing this up. So, I'm not going to restart. Don't worry, I'm not restarting the video. Obviously, I don't like to cut or edit. So, let's talk about... Yeah. Okay, fine. Charlotte will go on to face the winner of the next match, as well as last week, Sasha Banks goes on to face Natalya, who beat Layla. So, the winner of those two matches will face off in the semifinals. And the finals, of course, will come down, and then you're good to go. Yes, I'm way all over the place on this one. Basically, Charlotte won, and she's going to be facing off against the winner of the later match between Alexa Bliss, who's making her debut, and Alicia Fox. So, wow, that was a whole lot of mess up there. Oh well. So, we got our next match, tag team action, the Legionnaires of Marcus Louis and Sylvester Lafort taking on the new tag team of El Local, which is Ricardo Rodriguez under a mask, utilizing his old-school independent lucha days, and the debut of Kalisto, Samurai del Sol from AAA. And this match was pretty good, actually. I actually enjoyed it very much. Let's talk about the match, shall we? Sylvester Lafort with a leg drop, and off the ropes on Local gets a 2 count off of that. Tags in Marcus Louis and a knee in, and locks in a neck twist. Local punches his way out, whip in, and a really interesting maneuver. He puts on the brakes in the corner like he's charging in, and he does a back kick, like a grounded back kick, basically. It looked cool. Tagging to Lafort, tagging to Kalisto, he comes in, springboard the flying body press, comes off the ropes, ducks Louis' clothesline, Lafort's clothesline in this case, and he nails a K-Brada moonsault with the corkscrew variant. So a K-Brada corkscrew moonsault. Back kick, the Hakakiri, which is the standing slice bread number 2, the Misty Flip, the Shiraniwai, just whatever you want to call it. It's the same thing regardless how you look at it. And Louis makes the save. And there's a little back and forth between Louis and El Local. And Louis goes to the floor. Local hits a corkscrew pescado on Louis on the floor, which allows for Sylvester Lafort to stop momentum on Kalisto with a knee in the midsection. Whip in, backdrop, lands on his feet, and he rolls up Lafort. You would think he's going for a roll-up, but he rolls him up so he's in awkward positioning for a straight kick to the face, and this allows for the handspring into the spinning heel kick and gets the 3 count out of that. So Big win for the new team at Velocal and Kalisto. I'm guessing with them using matching gear, they're going to actually put these two together, and I have no problems with that at all. Say what you want about Ricardo Rodriguez and the fact that his run with Alberto Del Rio as basically, not Del Rio's mouthpiece, but his personal ring announcer, his manager run basically he did was one thing, but if you put a mask on him, and most people don't realize that it's him unless you pay attention to the obvious tattoo on his shoulder, kind of like when everyone realized that Unico was Sin Cara now and Mystico wasn't any longer. And the height difference is a little... Yeah, there's a little difference in the height there. But, basically what we have was a nice debut for this tag team. And I said we needed to build up babyface teams. This is a good place to start. And I think the Legionnaires are a good heel tag team you can put some stake in once the Ascension get brought up to the main roster. They're still the tag team champions, and they have not been on the show this week, so they'll probably be on the show, if I had to guess, this Thursday night. I don't know anything more than that, basically because I try not to read NXT spoilers, because like I said, I do weekly recaps. SmackDown's a different story. I kind of do read SmackDown recaps, like spoilers and everything, so I can prepare myself for what I want to say, even though most of these videos are pretty much improv, me just using notes with calling the matches. So, we get our next segment, and I can't really call it a match. Camacho comes out, and of course he decides he wanted to try to dun the party, literally, of Adam Rose last week, and he ended up clotheslining Captain Comic on the floor. Well, Captain Comic is in action against Camacho in this match, and basically the match starts with the most awkward front draw kick I think I've seen in a long time. He nails a backdrop suplex, the leaping guillotine leg drop, and he locks on the chin lock, and... You know, to his credit, Captain Comic tries to fight out slowly but surely, but he ends up getting stopped. And the fireman's carry into the running Samoan drop, and he gets finished off with an over-the-shoulder running power slam. And that's the end for Camacho winning this match. So, after the match is over, we saw basically Captain Comic about to be accosted, and here comes Adam Rose out to make the save. And that was the end. So this feud between Adam Rose and Camacho will continue. I have a feeling they will meet at TakeOver. I think that's a guarantee they meet at TakeOver. I don't know anything more than that. I'm guessing they do, given the fact that we need to build this feud quickly because Adam Rose is not going to be on the main roster too much. Is on the main roster now. He's not going to be on the NXT roster too much longer, which would explain his absence in the NXT Championship and number one contenders Battle Royal later on in the show. Oh, by the way, if Captain Comic looked familiar to you, it's because he is. There was a recent re-signing of a former tag team partner of Scott Dawson, and you know exactly where I'm going with this. And yeah, Captain Comic was a rib gimmick that was basically done just to show personality from someone a long time ago, and they basically put him in the Rose Party. So Captain Comic is Garrett Dillon. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people saying, like, oh, and it was Garrett Dillon, but I've seen him two apart. It's like, yeah, and Brian Pillman wasn't the Yellow Dog. So, yeah, there's always that. It's an old school reference for those of you out there that know what I'm talking about. If not, do some homework, folks. Brian Pillman, he's great, incredible. So we got our next match. It is our other first round match in the NXT Women's Championship Tournament. Alicia Fox, who slowly but surely is getting better. She's not trying to kill any people with axe kicks anymore. That's good. And she's facing off against the debut of Alexa Bliss. Okay, first off, Alexa Bliss is legitimately adorable. That's the best way to put it. She is adorable, and she's playing up the Pixie-like character. She's basically a blue version of Tinkerbell. In essence, she even has the glitter, the fairy dust, if you will, so it makes perfect sense. And obviously, given the fact that I am Sir Owen Disney, and for other reasons that I will not go into, I'm a big fan of the fact that they're utilizing Alexa Bliss to be Tinkerbell in NXT. So, this match is short but effective with the debut of Alexa Bliss. And Alexa Bliss, early on in the match, hits a standing moonsault knee drop, which looked awesome, by the way. Got a 2 off of that. Fox stops her with a knee in, whip in, and caught her with a tilt-a-whirl backbreaker, which he's been utilizing a lot lately. Got a 1 count out of it. And a snapmare makes a cover on that. Locks in a chin lock. Bliss elbows her way out and gets caught with a Northern Light suplex, but she kicks out at 2. So I'm pretty sure Fox isn't winning this one. Short arm elbows in the corner on 2 separate occasions, and the side headlock takeover into the side headlock. She escapes out, boot in the midsection, and hits that twice. A big forearm right to the jaw, and goes for a tilt-a-whirl. Again, as Alicia Fox goes back to the well, goes for the tilt-a-whirl, and it gets turned into a satellite, not a DDT, but a tilt-a-whirl into a satellite small package. I like that. I think I really like that a lot. And, you know, if it wasn't for the fact that Disney's lawyers would probably go after WWE for using it, I would call that move Pixie Hollow, to be totally honest. And at least for now, I'm going to call it Pixie Hollow. So, yeah, that's an awesome maneuver. And it looks great, too. I think that it's going to be utilized as a really nice come from behind underdog finish for Alexa Bliss until they develop an actual finisher for her. That moonsault knee drop's a nice mid-match spot, but still you need an actual finisher for her. And I like Alexa Bliss. I think she's going to be an awesome addition to the NXT women's roster, which is already pretty stacked as it is. But if you've got the fact that you've already brought Paige and Emma up from the main roster, to the main roster already, so you really have to start focusing on the Alexa Blisses and the Becky Lynches, and still Sasha Banks going to be one of the cornerstones. Sasha Banks and Charlotte both to be cornerstones in the division. You bring down Alicia Fox and Natalya to work with the NXT women's division, so it works pretty well. Like I said, this is all over the place, and I'm sorry for that. It's early. We get Devin in the back with Adrian Neville, and basically Neville is just excited about the competition and looks forward to whomever will end up facing him for the NXT Championship at TakeOver on May 29th. Our main event is our 20-man over-the-top rope battle royal. The number 1 contendership for the NXT Championship is on the line. Sylvester Lefort, Marcus Louis, Aiden English, Danny Burch, Marcus Jordan. Yeah. Jason Jordan. I don't know why I called him Marcus Jordan. Probably because I looked at the notes wrong. Jason Jordan, Illo Cal, Kalisto, Kurt Hawkins sighting. Gotta love that. Xavier Woods, Yoshitatsu, Oliver Gray, Baron Corbin, Colin Cassidy, Mason Ryan, Camacho, Brodus Clay, and the final 3 end up being Mojo Rawley, Sami Zayn, and Bo Dallas. And Tyson Kidd and Tyler Breeze are also involved as well. So nice 20-man battle royal. So yay, let's not be absolute on the fact that we need 1 or 2 people extra so we can have uneven numbers in a battle royal. This starts out quick. Brodus tosses Gray quickly, then Curtis Hawkins. I don't know why I call him Curtis. Kurt Hawkins gets tossed next, and then everyone teams up on Brodus Clay, and they extinct the Funkasaurus out of the battle royal. So Aiden English ends up tossing Danny Burch, and Mason Ryan presses Aiden English onto Danny Burch on the floor. We come back to live action, and our remaining competitors, apparently Illo Cal has been eliminated. Lefort and Kalisto eliminate each other, and Xavier Woods, Cactus Jack clotheslines Camacho over the top rope to the floor. Cactus clothesline also means he went over the top rope to the floor, so that meant that both men were eliminated. So Jason Jordan tosses Mojo Rawley and becomes one of my favorite men on the planet for that time being, given the fact he got rid of Mojo Rawley. And Baron Corbin ends up eliminating Jason Jordan. So Bo Dallas tosses Corbin and then eliminates Yoshitatsu and finishes up with 2 more rapid-fire eliminations of Mason Ryan and Colin Cassidy. We get down to our final 4 of Bo Dallas, Sami Zayn, Tyler Breeze, and Tyson Kidd, and Bo Dallas gets tossed by Tyson Kidd. Gets a nice little chant from the crowd of "Thank you, Tyson." And Kidd eats the beauty shot. He tries to pick up dead weight to toss him over the top, but he gets caught, and Tyler Breeze ends up landing on the ring apron. So Zayn punches him, Tyler Breeze stops him momentarily. They get back in the ring, clothesline, goes for the haluva kick, gets crotched on the top rope. He goes over the top rope to the floor. Breeze trying to eliminate Sami Zayn, and Zayn ends up fighting back, and they backdrop Tyson Kidd over the top. All 3 men are over at this point. The 3rd man is Tyler Breeze. He ends up getting eliminated by a head scissor over the top, and all 3 men hit the floor at the same time. Fans are chanting for a triple threat match. Then they're starting to chant for JBL. They get Triple H. Triple H comes out and says, you know, the fans know what's best for business, and they want it, so that's what we're going to do. Next week, we're going to have a triple threat match. The winner goes on to face off against Adrian Neville for the NXT Championship on May 29th at NXT TakeOver. That's all. It's easy as that. So, the show was okay as it was. Like I said, Charlotte is leaning towards being the eventual winner of the NXT Women's Championship Tournament, because I think they're going to build the division around her for a bit. Because she's not ready to come to the main roster yet. I know a lot of people haven't been, but they still brought them up anyway. Charlotte's not ready to come to the main roster yet, so they need to have her be a force in NXT for a bit. And I think she'll have a nice little title reign. Emma, of course, is on SmackDown on a regular basis, so she's basically just popping in to make an appearance, given the fact she's an NXT original. And we get a nice tag team match between two tag teams that obviously are making their kind of debut on NXT television with the Legionnaires and El Local and Kalisto. I like that tag match. It was a pretty good lucha tag match, very enjoyable. Captain Comet getting squashed by Camacho, leading to Adam Rose making the save. So we're building towards Adam Rose and Camacho still. And who knows, we'll ever see Garrett Dillon again, but Captain Comet is still there. Alexa Bliss had an awesome debut and really nice finish with that satellite into the small package, the Pixie Hollow, I like to call it. And Alicia Fox didn't try to kill anyone with an axe kick, so that's an awesome thing. Alicia Fox, like I said, I mean, I rag on her a lot, but she's getting better in the ring. She really is. So she's not as bad as she used to be. She's certainly not, I know I'm going to get heat for this. She's certainly not Cameron or Eva Marie. They're just not very good at all. But one of them has an excuse, one of them doesn't. So, the Battle Royal was nice. I really liked the fact. Kudos to Zane, Breeze, and Kid for being able to actually hit the floor at the same time. There was no, pause. There was no, hey, I saw that Tyler Breeze's foot touched just a couple seconds first. No. It literally was all three hitting the mat at the same time outside of the ring. So, that was really awesome. And kudos to WWE for doing a triple threat match between those three next week on NXT, which I'll be talking about on the weekend, actually, probably Saturday, if I had to guess. That was NXT, and that was an interesting show. We mow into SmackDown, which we start off with a rematch. I guess you could call it a rematch. A rematch with the United States Championship on the line. I guess I wouldn't necessarily call it a rematch, but I will say that Sheamus did win the Battle Royal. Hey, let's connect already that quickly. And this was a Battle Royal that was held on Raw. That Dean Ambrose's United States Championship was on the line. Sheamus ended up winning, so now this match ends up happening. So we get three singles matches for the Shield tonight. So let's talk about this match. It was pretty good as it was. Sheamus looks like he's going to be joining Evolution soon, is what it sounds like, at least. And this is a good start to the heel turn, because when he Brogue-kicked Ambrose, he got booed on Monday night, so it actually worked. Whip in reverse, and Sheamus goes to the axe, and of course, Ambrose ducks out of it. He hits his crossbody off the ropes, and he starts punching away. He hits the elbow face wash in the corner. Whip in, reverse, charges in, does Sheamus. He ends up going shoulder first in the ring post, and momentum carrying him out to the floor. And gets caught with the tope into the barricade by Dean Ambrose, tossed him in, and he goes to the middle rope, and he clips the knee out from under him. And, of course, he utilizes the connection to the Nature Boy Ric Flair and goes for the figure four. Needless to say, I don't think The Miz is going to be using that when he returns from his filming of his movie. Sheamus goes to the bottom rope, and that calls for the break. So, a boot in, and the Irish Curse backbreaker gets a 2 off of that. Well-placed stomp. Turnabout is fair play, right? Since Ambrose uses it all the time. Goes for the cloverleaf, locks it on. Ambrose gets to the bottom rope, calls for the break, and pulls into the apron. The clubbing blows does succeed, and he sets up for white noise off the ring apron, gets countered into a backslide. Sheamus counters into a backslide of his own, and Ambrose flips over, lands on his feet, savate kick to he gets stopped with a savate kick, and back into the ropes, and Ricochet back with a jawbreaker lariat. They trade blows when they both get back to their feet. Boot in, and a charging knee strike. He Brogue kicks Ambrose out of the ring to the floor. Sheamus rolls in at 10, and Sheamus stands back as Ambrose rolls in at 10. This is all over the place. And there's the Brogue kick, 1, 2, 3, and Sheamus retains the United States Championship. I like this match, actually. It was a really good, fast-paced match. I'll say that a lot during the show. I like the fact they didn't really utilize the promos as much as they would. This was actually a very wrestling-heavy show, and I thought that was really good. Because that's what we need. The next match involves a tag team that I need to see, like, now. Like, I really do. I need to see this team together, or I need to see these two feud. Because they're so awesome, and they're both snug in the ring, so I really think that it would be awesome to see them feud. And that is Bad News Barrett, the Intercontinental Champion, and Cesaro. And they are facing off against Big E and Rob Van Dam. So this match was short as well. But it got the point across and put over two storylines, given the fact that Barrett and Big E are feuding and Cesaro and Van Dam are feuding. Funny, I thought it'd be the opposite way around. Either way, you can still feud any sort of combination of these four, and it works. Especially with the fact that we're ending up turning Big E heel very soon, because apparently John Cena wants to work with him. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Van Dam hits a springboard sidekick to Barrett, and this is a nice move here. So he chases Cesaro around the ring. Well, actually, no. He chases Barrett around the ring because Barrett goes to the floor. And Cesaro goes for a clothesline. He ducks. Barrett mows him over with a clothesline. Tosses him back and gets a 2 off of it. Chinlock. Van Dam elbows his way out, and he does his B&B with the thumb point, and he gets stopped by a pop-up spinning heel kick. Tagging to Cesaro, tagging to Big E, of course, clothesline, ducks Cesaro's clothesline, and belly-to-belly suplex. Hits the big splash, 1-2, and a kick-out, whip in reverse, and charges into the corner, does Cesaro, eats the STO, 1-2 out of that because Barrett makes the save. Van Dam with a spinning heel kick on Barrett, and a boot caught, you know, the step-over spin kick. He catches the boot, going for the step-over spin kick, does Van Dam. He ducks out of it, and Big E gets up getting hit with the spin kick instead, accidentally. So Barrett pulls Van Dam out of the ring. Cesaro hits the neutralizer on Big E, and 1-2-3, so Cesaro and Barrett win. Just prolonging the feud between these four men. I like Cesaro and Barrett as a team. I think that'd be an awesome connection. I'd really like to think that Wade Barrett would be a really nice Paul Heyman guy, to be totally honest. I think that'd be a great idea. But Barrett can talk, so maybe not necessarily needed, but I think that it would be a really nice connection. I really would love to see a Barrett-Cesaro feud, and I think after Cesaro finally turns babyface, eventually, whenever it happens, I think Barrett and Cesaro is a feud I definitely want to see without any doubt. So, of course, we get our next match, and it ends up being Rusev against Kofi Kingston. Lana comes out looking gorgeous as always, and she spouts her propaganda, as she always does. And we go midway through this match, if you want to call it that. A 180 flying body press from Kofi, and ends up getting caught. And the spinning side slam, and locks in the accolade after stepping on the spine. Gotta love that. And that's the end. Wow. I'll tell you right now, Rusev really isn't connecting right now. I think Lana's definitely more over than Rusev is, for sure. I really think the WWE needs to start putting more competitive matches with Rusev on. Show a little vulnerability. I know it's early, but the squash matches can only go so far. And they only can go so long before they become extremely repetitive. And that's exactly what they've become so far. Putting in the ring with Kofi Kingston, that's a start, but they're not really doing anything. Kofi did get a little bit of offense, so that was fine, but still, everyone bowed down to Rusev when Rusev crushed. So we get our next segment, ends up being a promo from the Wyatt family, because those are always fun, because they're amazing. Something in my mouth, I don't know what that was. Anyway, Bray says, anything can burn if you find the right spark. Apparently, Bray Wyatt's a big fan of Figment. Everything that they have built must return to ash. We are slaves to judgment, and it is that tells him to survive and to adapt. It tells John Cena he is right to fear Bray Wyatt. They're going to go on a trip, and where they go, no one ever comes back. Yes, I know some of you were probably thinking you heard a banjo in the background when you heard that. But, yeah, the Wyatt family aren't necessarily about deliverance. It might be interesting to see that in the Attitude Era. They might have went there. But possessing children, that works. But deliverance, no, too far. But, yeah, there was another great cryptic promo from Bray Wyatt. And this sets up our main event tonight, which is John Cena and Jimmy and Jey Uso against the Wyatt family in a 6-man. So that's coming up in a bit. We get another promo for Bo Dallas, and we find out that he will be making his debut this week on SmackDown. So he'll be on SmackDown, the show that is going to be airing this Friday. So yeah, that'll be good. I really am very happy to see Bo Dallas in the ring in WWE. Again, not the really short white meat babyface run he did against Wade Barrett. No, we're actually going to see Bo Dallas in his awesome infomercial, Tony Robbins' Inspirational Glory. So we get our next match. It is another mixed tag match. In the match 365 of this feud that will never end, Fandango and Layla against Emma and Santino. This match is short as well, and I'll join us in progress when we get the double tag into Layla and Emma. There's a Luthez press on Layla, and whip in reverse misses the charge, and Layla gets locked in the dilemma, and Emma Might Sandwich connects in the corner, and she pulls out the Venema, of course, and Fandango ends up low-bridging Santino when he tries to charge in. And Emma gets rolled up from behind, 1, 2, 3, and after the match is over, for some reason, Fandango and Layla kissed. Okay, so we're proceeding to that, and that's actually going to be an item. I guess so we're going to play that up. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when Summer Rae shows up. I don't think she comes back as a face, but I do think that it's going to be interesting when she does come back, because it's going to be a nice, very strange heel demographic feud. Obviously, she's going to have to bring someone in, and honestly, if they're going to do heel versus heel, I think this actually might be a way to bring Tyler Breeze up. How about Tyler Breeze and Summer Rae versus Fandango and Layla? I like that idea. I think that would work really well, and I'm a big fan of Tyler Breeze, and I'd love to see him brought up to the main roster. I think that's actually a good storyline to do so with. We get our next Shield versus the World match, and ends up being Roman Reigns against Mark Henry, a heel Mark Henry, a very angry Mark Henry, who basically does the Superstars old school style, like inbox promo when his music is playing, and basically saying that he remembers when he got triple teamed by the Shield time in and time out, and now he's going to personally induct Roman Reigns into the Hall of Pain just for that happening. So, a very heel Mark Henry. So that was a fun, very, very fun version of Mark Henry, like it always is. And we get this match, the charging clothesline, and it connects in the corner, and another charging clothesline ends up getting stopped by Mark Henry, which just rolls him over with a big shoulder block. The Vader bomb in the corner is stopped, and a club to the back. He picks him up, and he catches Mark Henry with the Samoan drop, spears him out of his boots, 1, 2, 3, and Roman Reigns wins. It was a short match, but interesting to see that if they got a little bit more time, there would be some very interesting things to that match. So I think that could go a little bit longer. Our next match, the 6-man feud that will never end. It is Los Matadores and El Torito against 3-Man Band and Swoggle. So, yeah, this match was... wow. We go midway through the match, and basically I'm going in for the tag-in on Torito and Swoggle. So, Drew McIntyre and one of the Matadors hit the double crossbody, so they're both men are down. And basically, there's the double tag and a back kick, and he gores Swoggle out of the ring. Swoggle basically is like, that's not funny, it's not funny, it's not funny, and goes for the sunset flip. And a really funny spot, at least it was funny to me because it was late. Basically, he looks at Torito, looks down at him because he's not going over for the sunset flip, and he's like, you stay right there. And he does the sit out, and he moves, of course. Big splash from Torito, gets a 1 off of it, so Heath Slater tosses him off, and then he tags himself in, and there's another tag into the other Matador, and basically there is a, excuse me. He goes for a big boot, there we go, that's it. He goes for a big boot, and he ducks out of it, and Torito hits a springboard moonsault and gets the 3 off of it. So, 1, 2, 3, and this feud will never end. Wasn't as good as the previous matches at all, so yeah. I'm getting really sick of this. Hopefully it'll end soon. I do like Swoggle with 3-Man Band, though. I think it actually works pretty well. Our next match, oh god, this match was awesome. Seth Rollins against Batista. And we come back to live action. And there is a high-velocity whip onto Rollins in the corner and a big-time vertical suplex. He brings him in the hard way, and of course, he lands on his feet and charges in and goes shoulder first. Charge with the forearm in the corner, and then he hits it again, and then he pounds him away in the corner, and he stomps away on Batista in the corner. He goes for a reverse neckbreaker, gets countered, ducks the clothesline, and hits a corkscrew neckbreaker off the ropes, kind of like a corkscrew version of the heart attack neckbreaker. Kind of Matt Hardy's side effect off the ropes, basically. And basically hits, going for his Shiranui, which is the Skywalker, and it gets end up countered after the back kick, and Batista backdrops him over the top rope to the ring apron. Leaping kick stuns Batista long enough, goes for the springboard knee strike, and of course he misses. Charges in, Batista makes him eat the spine buster, goes for the Batista bomb, he punches his way out, lands on his feet, leaping kick, Batista gets knocked to the floor. He goes up top, and he's going for the knee strike. He gets pulled, momentum sends him hard into the announce table. Batista gets in at 10, and after the match is over, he tosses Rollins in and makes him eat the Batista bomb for good measure. This match was good, and I had no issues with it at all. I really wish it had been a little bit longer. I could see these guys getting like 15, 20 minutes, honestly. Say what you want about Batista. I mean, when he has somebody to work with, it actually works. So yeah, there's always that. So we get our main event, and it's the Wyatts against John Cena and the Usos. So, yeah, this match was all over the place. Harper with a gator roll, and that, of course, turned into the side headlock, and Jay ends up fighting up to his feet. He goes for a scoop slam, that doesn't work, and Harper mows him over with a super kick, and tags in Eric Rowan. Rowan comes in, goes for the side headlock. Jay ends up slamming him into the corner, and Rowan with a nice body slam misses the big splash, tagging to Bray Wyatt. Jimmy Uso hot tag in. Jimmy goes in with high leg lariat on Bray, and then the big splash in the corner, Rikishi style, and makes a cover 1-2 and a kick out. So John Cena gets a big right hand on Bray, and Bray tags out. Harper eats the super kick, and Wyatt and Cena brawl on the floor. Rowan comes in to brawl as well, and Samoan suicide dive on everybody on the floor. This allows for... There is one Uso in the ring with Luke Harper, and that Uso eats the discus lariat, and the 3 count is completed, so the Wyatt family win. Fast-paced matchup to end SmackDown, and I like the gear, actually. Kind of remind me... The Usos' pink and green gear kind of reminded me a bit of, like, Sour Patch Watermelon, to be totally honest. Or maybe, like, the Saved by the Bell logo at some point. So, yeah, that was interesting. And, like I said, this is all over the place, but I'm sorry about timing. It was just kind of... It was there. It was a SmackDown. There we go. If I'd check out anything, Sheamus and Dean Ambrose is good. Barrett and Cesaro against Van Dam and Big E is good. I would check out the... You know, Roman Reigns and Mark Henry for being short, it was good. Batista and Seth Rollins, absolutely. And Wyatt's against Cena and Usos was fine. So yeah, like I said, hopefully my Raw recap tonight will be a little bit more less disjointed. Sorry about that. I guess I was more worried about time than anything else. I'd like to say this video would get up now, but unfortunately I have to go to work in about 10 minutes, so it's not going to happen now. I will make sure I get that video up when I get home tonight after 5 o'clock. So... In the meantime, if you like these videos, tell your friends about them, leave a comment, do subscribe, and help spread the word about Pop. Like our Facebook fan page at Sir Owen Disney Pop. Friend me on Facebook at Owen Disney. Follow me on Twitter at Sir Owen Disney. Last but certainly not least, you want to send your thoughts, comments, queries, and opinions. You want to talk wrestling with me? We can do that. We can talk Disney Universal. Want to be a popcaster yourself? Just send your videos to siroandisney@gmail.com. In the meantime, I do want to thank you guys and girls out there for watching. I do apologize for the shortness and the strangeness of this video, but I promise to make it up to you tomorrow for Raw. And until that tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all I got to say about that.